so good to see you.
Welcome home. So good to have you back.
It's so good to be back.
Well, here, sit down.
Okay. Well, it's your chair.
No, right over here.
Oh, no.
Now, how you feeling?
I'll be all right. Okay.
Did you sleep all right?
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness, for the first time since this whole situation began.
Me too.
I can't tell you how wonderful it was to wake up in my own bed in my own room. What is all this?
Well, Kelly and I thought that we'd do the cooking today.
Yeah, we tried our best. We really did.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's going to be delicious. Okay, you fellas did the cooking. I'll do the service.
Oh, no. You stay right there and relax. You just got out of the hospital, remember?
Yeah, that's something I want to forget as soon as possible.
Well, it looks like things are going to be back to normal here before we know it, huh?
You know, I love you both so much. I hope you know that.
We both love you, too. Now, I hate to start rushing things, but I think we better begin to eat.
Oh, you're leaving?
I don't want to, but I have to. Kelly will keep you company. You two have a lot of catching up to do.
Well, I just thought that I might have the morning with my most favorite fellas in the world, that's all. Where are you going?
To the office. Now that Gideon is back in custody, his case has to be dealt with, and the arrest of Dr. Bryson seems to have far-reaching ramifications. But I promise you, as soon as I take care of the essentials, I'll be back home as fast as I can.
I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. A lot of your friends called, but I told them to give you some time to readjust to being back home. Yes?
Hello. You're Michael Carr, I presume?
That's right. What can I do for you?
This is probably the worst possible time to drop by, but I had to come here.
Well, what's this all about?
I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Valerie Bryson. I'm Dr. Kenneth Bryson's daughter. He was brought up to Monticello last night. Although I suppose you know that. I've come up here to be with him.
I see. Come in, Miss Bryson.
Thank you. I'll only stay a few minutes. What can I do for you? How are you, Mrs. Carr?
I'm all right now.
I knew just what I wanted to say to you, and to your husband. It seems terribly insignificant now.
Why don't you try to tell them anyway, Miss Bryson?
This is my nephew, Kelly McGrath.
I'm pleased to meet you. I wanted to tell you how sorry I am for what happened.
Thank you.
It must have been awful for you. Locked away at the Rexford. Held prisoner all that time?
Yes, it was.
When I think that my father was instrumental in keeping you there, I don't know how he could have done such a horrible thing.
Your father's involvement with Ira Gideon and my wife's discovery of that put him in a precarious position. Obviously, your father became a desperate man.
I'm sorry. So very sorry. I'm sure my father's sorry, too. Do you think you'll ever be able to find it in your heart to forgive him?
Do you think that Nancy can simply forget everything your father did to her?
He has done a lot of good in his life. I hope you'll take that into consideration and not judge him too harshly.
You're talking to the wrong person.
The courts will make that determination, Miss Bryson.
What is going to happen to him now?
Well, there are numerous charges against him. And an extensive investigation of his affairs in Europe is just about to begin. I'm afraid the road ahead is going to be a rough one for him.
How I wish there was something I could do to help him.
Well, you seem to care for him very much. I'm sure that should help a great deal.
Somehow I don't think that's going to be enough.
I don't know if this is going to make you feel any better. because it was because of your father that my life was a nightmare. But he did try a great deal to keep me from being hurt, and for that I'm grateful.
He is a decent man.
Really?
You know, Miss Bryson, you've really got a hell of a lot of nerve showing up here.
I just came to apologize.
Well, forget your apology.
Kelly!
Considering all that your father did to Nancy and the hurt that Mike and I suffered thinking that she was possibly dead, that makes your apology pretty worthless.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Oh, and don't go pulling on any heartstrings expecting to win your father any clemency, because if you do, you've come to the wrong place.
Stop it! That was not my intention in coming here.
Haven't you heard, Miss Bryson? The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Mrs. Carr, Mr. Carr, I'm very sorry if my coming here caused a scene.
The problem is you just refuse to make a commitment.
I don't want to make a formal commitment. I've got a lifestyle and an image, and I want to maintain it.
All right, then you'll just have to maintain it alone, because my answer is no.
Oh, come on. Will you take some time and think about it?
No! I said no. I want all or nothing.
Oh, I get it. You're playing another one of your little games. You think that by being hard to get, you're going to sweeten the pot? What is it you want? Your own private limo? Well, all right. That can be arranged.
I am not playing a game. Living together would be playing a game, and I will have none of it.
Well, you're not going to do better anyplace else.
I wouldn't live with you or any other man.
Why this old-fashioned girl attitude all of a sudden?
Because if I'm going to be stuck with one man for the rest of my life, you better believe I'm going to be married to him.
Well, I've made my final offer.
Well, then, no deal. Sorry.
I take it, then, that you're going to marry Derek Mallory?
Well, if you want to know the truth, I told Derek today that I won't marry him.
Really?
Yes. He's too good and kind and trusting to be stuck with me.
You're not giving yourself very much credit, Red. Or me, for that matter.
I happen to be very self-centered, ambitious, and sometimes I'm cruel. As a matter of fact, you're the only one rotten enough that I can think of that deserves to be married to me.
Yeah, I don't think I consider that to be very complimentary.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. But we're like two peas in a pod.
I'll still pass.
Then it's been nice knowing you.
Okay. Take your time. Think about it. I will allow you to change your mind if you like.
No! Now, I said get out of here. I don't ever want to see you again.
Well, maybe I should call the chief and go commiserate with him over our loss. Huh?
Do whatever you like, but do it someplace else. Now, just leave.
You're making a big mistake, Raven. You know you're going to regret this.
Goodbye, Sky.
Goodbye, Raven.
Sounds like you had quite a productive evening last night in East Meadows.
Yeah, the effort, old buddy, was really worth it, let me tell you.
Yeah, it must have been. It's been a long time since I've seen you so happy, buddy.
But I don't know, I just can't stop smiling, you know? I mean, Nancy's back home where she belongs with her husband, you know?
Yeah, that's really something.
Yeah.
You know, we all thought that she was dead.
Yeah, well, for a while, that was the only logical conclusion you could come to, you know? Wow. I've just never been so happy to be proven wrong in my entire life.
Do you think all the activities last night will get you a commendation or promotion?
Oh, now, I don't know. That would be nice. But to tell you the truth, when I looked at Nancy Carr and she hugged me and thanked me for it, that was reward enough.
Yeah, I'll bet. Hey, I've got a brand new routine I gotta show you.
Oh, great. Let me see.
All right, girls, can we do that routine we did a little earlier? Gotta find the music. Girls, can we wait 5 minutes, please? What are you doing here? I thought you left town.
I came to see Judy. Where is she, in the dressing room?
No, she isn't.
Oh. I assumed you'd be working. I mean, getting ready for the opening.
Yeah, we are, but Jody ran out to get something to eat.
Oh, I see. Can I leave a message for her?
Sure, what do you want me to tell her?
Can you please tell Judy that I have changed my mind and I won't be leaving Monticello?
Why are you staying?
I have my reasons. Au revoir.
I told you I don't have anything to say.
I've got a proposal to make.
You already made a proposal. I told you I will not compromise.
No. This time, I mean a real proposal. Raven, will you marry me?
Hello, Geraldine. I have some wonderful news.
Perhaps I'd better sit down. I'm not at all sure my strength will be able to withstand your wonderful news.
Guess who isn't getting married?
Well, let's see. I'm not.
Wrong. I'm not going to marry Derek. I called off the wedding.
Raven, Derek has my congratulations. You have my approval. That was one marriage that was never meant to be.
Took almost an entire afternoon of soul searching, but I made some very important realizations about the relationship.
Well, I'm proud of you. I was hoping that somewhere along the line you'd come to your senses. But what happened? Why the sudden change?
Simple. I decided to marry somebody else.
What makes you think Skylar will ask you?
Well, I mean, besides the fact that he's absolutely crazy about me, he proposed to me this afternoon.
Skylar proposed to you? What was your answer?
Oh, well, I mean, he may be handsome, charming, intelligent, and have lots and lots of money, but I certainly kept my dignity, and I told him I'd have to think about it.
Don't play coy with me. That's all you've been thinking about ever since Skylar and Martine parted company.
Oh, well, I admit that the thought popped into my head now and then, but it was only in passing.
At your instigation, I have no doubt.
Hey, I mean, I might have put the idea in his head at first, but you know, Sky never does anything unless he's absolutely sure and he wants to.
Oh, my dear, I know. Skylar values his independence above everything else. Far more than any of your other husbands, or, fiancés, or gentlemen friends.
Well, that's what I need. I mean, it's great to be waited on hand and foot, but I need somebody that won't jump every time I snap my fingers.
Well, if you're looking for a battle of the wills, Skylar will be a formidable opponent.
Well, that's not exactly what I mean. I feel differently about Skylar. I've never felt this way about any other man.
I hope that's true, Raven. Because if it isn't, and you marry Skylar with me, you'll be making the biggest mistake of your life.
Sit down, Mr. Randolph.
I know how busy you are, and I appreciate your seeing me on such short notice.
Having dealt with the Attorney General's office many times before, I'm grateful for any notice at all.
Well, at least my arrival didn't come as a complete surprise.
No, I was expecting your visit, if that's what you mean.
I'd like to tell you exactly why I had to see you. I realize that up to now you haven't been receiving very much information.
I know that it has something to do with the Bryson Gideon case, but other than that, I'm afraid I am in the dark.
Nobody's been informed. We're handling this on a strict need-to-know basis.
That big?
Up to now, the only people that have received clearance are the Attorney General and myself and the two heads of the intelligence agencies.
I take that to mean that we're not talking about a strictly criminal proceeding.
Oh, not by a long shot. We have reason to believe that Dr. Bryson may have had dealings with key foreign political leaders from Europe, Africa, South America, and the United States.
How reliable are your sources?
That's why I'm here. We want to put together a special task force in order to check those people, not necessarily because they're under suspicion, but each and every one of our sources as well.
So this task force would not only be digging for information, they'd be acting as a dummy agency to take the flak, so to speak.
Exactly. And in the eyes of the world, it would appear as the most routine of investigations. And we would be following you up with 100% of our resources.
Mr. Randolph, the problem is that although Dr. Bryson's case falls under my jurisdiction, as district attorney, I would draw too much attention to the government's involvement.
Yes, but as district attorney, it would be your responsibility to appoint someone to spearhead your investigation.
Unless I've missed my signals, what you want is for me to recommend someone from here in Monticello to head up your special task force.
That is exactly what we want. And we'd appreciate it if you would put it into immediate action. Believe me, Draper, it was no picnic handling all your cases while you were gone, staying up late at night, not getting any sleep. Well, I mean, not that I'm complaining or anything.
Oh, no, Cliff, the thought never entered my mind.
Yeah, I'd burn the midnight oil anytime to see my best friend and favorite partner get back with his wife.
You know, Cliff, since you're such a prince, I'm going to let you in on a secret.
Oh, goody. I haven't heard any secrets since I stopped listening on keyholes.
Cliff, April and I are going to have another baby.
That's fantastic. It's terrific. Congratulations. When did all this come about?
Oh, a couple of months ago. She just wasn't telling me, and until we got, the problems between us straightened out. Cigar?
Yeah, thanks.
Take one, Cliff.
Oh. Obviously, the problems between you are straightened out.
Right. Having been apart since we got back together, it's like a second honeymoon.
Well, you're not going to believe this. In fact, maybe you better sit down to hear this. I've been considering that exact thing myself.
Taking a second honeymoon? Cliff, you're not even married.
This is serious, Draper, really. When you were gone, a day didn't go by when I didn't say to myself, Self, you ought to settle down. I mean, Cliff, maybe you should get married.
What happened to the confirmed bachelor to whom I entrusted my most important clients?
Well, I was very lonely while you were gone, So I came up with this idea that might find me a wife and might get us some new clients. See, I thought that we would take out an ad in the paper advertising free legal advice for single women. You see, single women have a great deal of difficulty getting good counseling these days.
Cliff, now...
No, look, I checked out with the newspaper. It won't cost us very much at all.
Cliff, no!
Draper, I think you ought to listen to my ideas. I handled myself very well while you were away. Look.
I know, you did very well with the Reardon case. Had it thrown out of court. Best I expected you to do there was 1 to 5 for aggravated assault.
I don't think I get much respect around here. If I say so myself, I was terrific in that courtroom. Why, by the time the jury was ready for deliberation, I had them hypnotized.
You mean you had them so confused they didn't know what they were doing?
Well...
Saved by the bell. Scott Nelson.
Draper, it's Mike.
Oh, Mike, how are you? What can I do for you?
I hate to interrupt your first day back, but I've got something very important to talk to you about. If you don't mind, I'd like to come over there in about 10 minutes.
Sure, come on over. I'm not going anywhere.
See you soon.
I was going to come over and surprise you myself this afternoon.
I wanted this to be a surprise, but your doorman wouldn't let you have any surprises.
Well, that's because I've gotten a lot of surprised, unexpected, unannounced visitors.
You need not say anymore.
Let's see, turn around. You look terrific. Come on in and sit down. If I hadn't known that you had just spent several months recuperating from bone marrow transplant surgery, I never even would have known you were sick.
That's because it's my sister-in-law. It's your sworn duty to uphold my vanity.
That's true, but I'm being serious. I mean, you look wonderful. Monticello's doing you well.
Well, that's an understatement. Being back home again with my own family, it's a dream come true.
Yeah. How are they, Miles and Adam? I haven't seen them myself for a while, I'm afraid.
They're wonderful.
Good.
Miles sends his love, and Adam's gotten so big I hardly even recognize him.
I'll bet he's thrilled that you're home.
Well, at that age, it's a little difficult to tell, but I think he's getting used to me again. How's Julia?
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, looking more and more like Draper every day, except for my blonde hair and blue eyes, but her father is convinced she is his spitting image. She's outside in the park with Mrs. Timmons.
Oh, she was just a little baby when I last saw her. She must be a grown woman by now.
Only kidding, hasn't been that long.
I know, but it seems like an eternity. Gosh, I've been out of touch with the people that I love for so long. I was almost afraid to come home again.
Yeah. Well, I can fill you in on a few things.
Yeah?
Well, I'm kind of surprised you haven't noticed one of them, but,
April.
You're kidding. No, I'm serious.
Why did Miles tell me?
He doesn't even know yet. I haven't had a chance to tell him.
Well, when is it due?
Well, let's see. If baby doesn't decide to come early this time, I'd say late September.
Oh, I am so excited.
Me too.
Oh, my goodness. First, Mike and Nancy are reunited, and now this, and I haven't even heard all the details about what happened.
Oh, sit down, sit down. Yeah, and boy, do I have a lot to tell you. I'll tell you, if it weren't for Mike's spectacular rescue, I wouldn't be here to talk about it right now. Well, looks like I'm going to have to wait.
Gosh, that must have been such a terrifying experience.
Oh, I was never so glad to see anyone in my whole entire life. Hello? You're kidding. Oh, well, of course. Sure. Thank you. Yeah. Well, that's funny. My friend Sid's here.
Who's Sid? I don't think I've ever met Sid.
Oh, she's a woman I met, Denise Meadows.
Sid is a woman?
Yes, and she happens to be a terrific lady who not only gave me a job, a place to live, she also gave me an understanding ear and a very soft shoulder to cry on.
She sounds wonderful.
She's terrific. You're going to love her. Welcome to Monticello. Oh, it's so good to see you. What are you doing here? Do you have any trouble finding us?
How could I? You're the only ones on the whole floor.
Oh, yeah. Well, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Sid, my sister-in-law, Nicole. Nicole, this is Sid.
Hi, Sid. It's nice to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine.
April's just been telling me all about you.
Excuse me if I'm a little tongue-tied, but this layout is a bit more than I expected.
You like it?
Like it? I've never been in a place like this in my whole life. I feel like the Queen of England.
Well, if your Majesty would sit down on your throne, you can tell us to what we owe the honor of your company.
Oh, well, Her Majesty has been beaten down doors since 11 o'clock this morning looking for a job.
Well, what happened to the tavern?
I put it out of its misery. I sold it for taxes to a couple of your entrepreneurs who plan to turn it into a disco.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been hearing since 11 o'clock this morning.
What kind of a job are you looking for now? Something else in the restaurant business?
Well, I figure in a town the size of Monticello, I ought to be able to find myself a club to manage or at least a couple of tables to wait on.
Well, why don't I give Geraldine a call? I mean, if there's anybody who knows what's going on in this town, it's Geraldine Whitney.
Well, listen, I'd appreciate anything you can do. Just point me in the right direction, and I'm on my way.
Just don't worry, okay, Sid? I mean, we'll find you something. Draper and I can do something, I'm sure. Of course. The unicorn. Be perfect.
If you don't mind my asking who or what is the unicorn?
Well, it's a restaurant, sort of, and I inherited it. It's a very long story.
Well, it's hardly what you would call a restaurant anymore. April, that place hasn't been open in ages.
No, it hasn't, but there's no reason why we can't reopen it. Put a little money into it. I think it'd be a perfect place for Sid.
Well, it would have to undergo a complete renovation before she could even think of reopening it.
Well, it's already been gutted, so to speak. Just fix it up a little bit. You got yourself a business.
Hey, slow down a minute, you two. If I'd gotten rich enough selling the tavern to open another place of my own, I wouldn't be looking for a job.
Draper and I will help you out financially. Well, look at it this way. It's costing us just as much in taxes as it would cost to renovate the whole entire place. So why not put a little money into it? We can make a little money out of it, and I think it's for a good cause.
Ooh, a couple of hours ago, I couldn't even beat down a door, and now here I am being offered the keys to the city. I don't know what to say.
Then just say yes. Make Draper and me very happy to know that we could repay you for everything you've done for us.
Well, Sid, it sure can't hurt to take a look at it.
Well, what have I got to lose?
I know where you got the idea to impersonate Ira Gideon. I saw it in a movie once. Hello, Draper. You're so fast. I just talked to you a minute ago. Yeah. Well, Mike, what's up?
No offense, Cliff, but I'd like to speak to Draper in private.
Oh, sure, yeah. No trouble at all. I'll just hold all calls for you, Draper, okay? Sure, there's some filing I can do. After all, I did handle all your cases for about while you were gone. Maybe some beautiful girl will call me and ask me to marry her.
Looks like I may have lost a friend.
Mike, don't pay any attention to him. He's been feeling very put upon all day.
Well, I'd like to have Cliff sit in on this, but the Office of the Attorney General has requested demanded the utmost discretion.
Attorney General?
His top aide, Maxwell Randolph, came to see me this afternoon about the Bryson Gideon case.
Oh, Mike, how many times do we have to go through this? You know how I feel about
Draper, now wait a minute. Before you start shouting about states' rights, you might be interested in hearing what I have to say.
You're right. Sorry. What is it?
I'm going to try to interest you in a very special assignment that may involve Ira Gideon, but we'll be focusing primarily on Dr. Bryson.
Well, you know how I feel about him. I hope he gets life for what he did to Nancy, him and his wife.
Well, it's not quite that simple. It appears this case goes way beyond what they did to Nancy. Not only does it involve individuals, but certain foreign governments as well.
Foreign governments? Friendly or hostile?
Well, the Attorney General's office isn't at liberty to name names as yet. But they are going to create a special task force to investigate Bryson's connections to foreign governments, hostile and friendly towards our own.
Well, congratulations.
Well, the demands of the DA's office won't allow me to act as special prosecutor. That's why I thought about you as the most logical choice.
Me? You want me to head up this task force?
I won't kid you, Draper. Not only will there be long hours, but lots of travel included as well.
Mike, I thank you. I appreciate your confidence. Mike, you know, things with April have just now started to get back to normal.
I realize that, Draper. But contrary to popular belief, the government's heart is not made of stone. Any travel plans would also include April, too.
But Mike, that's not the point.
This assignment would also give you national recognition.
Wow. You know, Mike, I always wanted to travel around the world. Maybe I should start doing it before my family gets any bigger. I accept.
Good.
How about a cigar?
Why not?
Well, hello there, Cliff. How are you?
April, what are you doing here? Why aren't you at home resting?
Well-
Here, let me get you a chair. Here. Sit down. Can I get you anything? Let's say a coffee or tea or maybe a pickle.
No, thank you for the chair. Doctor says no caffeine, and I had my pickle for breakfast. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, April, just fine.
What's the matter? Aren't you glad your partner's back?
Some partner. No sooner does he set foot in the office than he goes into a private conference with the district attorney.
Mike, thanks for coming.
Oh, hi, Mike. How are you?
April, how are you?
Real good, thanks. Hello.
Draper, I've got to run, but I will talk to you later.
Mike, thanks for coming by.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Mike. What was all that about?
Yeah.
Oh, he just wanted to talk about some of the things that had happened up at East Meadows.
Aha, speaking of East Meadows, guess who I spent the afternoon with? Nicole and Sid.
Ah.
Oh, wait a minute, April, I met Nicole, but who's Sid?
Well, just the lady who kept my body and soul together while Draper was out playing detective.
I get it now. You want to close the law firm here and open up the detective agency together, huh?
Yeah, that's it, Cliff.
Yeah, well, Draper, Sid closed the tavern in East Meadows in Monticello looking for a job, and, well, Draper, Nicole and I took her to see the unicorn.
The unicorn? That place has been closed since I solved the Elliot Dorn murder.
Oh, yeah. Well, in any case, I thought, why can't it be reopened? And, you know, we'll fix it up and do a nice thing for Sid, and might be a money-making venture for us, and I happen to think it was a marvelous idea. What about you, Cliff?
You lost him after you told him that you took Sid to the unicorn. When he was staying with me, he used to space out like this all the time.
I'm sorry. I just had a real hectic day. Look, I need to talk to you about something private in the office. Come on. Excuse us, Cliff.
Excuse us. You know, I was all excited about someone I care about, that is Sid, and I thought here was something I could do to help the woman.
It's a great idea, honey. But
I came all the way down here to tell you, to share my excitement
But
with
there's
you.
something else. Something I have to share with you. Something just as exciting. Get ready.
Okay.
How would you like to take a trip overseas?
Shall I get that, Mr. Whitney?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, to what do I owe this unexpected pleasure?
Gunther, could you leave?
Sure. Mr. Scott.
How are you adjusting, Dr. Bryson? I know it must be difficult for you, seeing me as an attorney. They have told you, haven't they, that I am going to prosecute the case? Well, will you cooperate? Dr. Bryson, why don't you answer me?
I have nothing to say. I've already told the police as much as I'm going to tell anyone, including you, Richie.
Since you haven't told them anything, I won't take it personally. Look, Dr. Bryson, don't you care what's going to happen for the rest of your life?
Not in the least.
Doctor, I think I can persuade the court to be lenient if you cooperate.
What a magnificent deal. After only 15 short years in the penitentiary, I'll be an ex-convict, stripped of my license to practice medicine, and facing my beloved wife, Beth. No, thank you, Mr. Scott. My life is over. I'm of no further use to anyone.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself. This is your chance to make up for all the things you've done in the past.
As far as my past is concerned, I have reasons. Many reasons for not saying any more than I've already said.
Then what about your daughter? Yes, that's right, Doctor. What about your daughter? She just found out that the man she loves, the man she's admired and looked up to for her whole life, she just found out that he is a criminal.
My daughter came to see me this morning in this place. I refused to see her. For her own sake, I want her to forget she even has a father.
My God, man, how do you expect her to do that?
She has to. I'm not going to see her ever again.
No. No, Dr. Bryson, wait!
What should I have next? Blueberries or a hot fudge sundae?
Nancy, I gained 10 pounds just sitting across the table from you.
I'm just teasing you, Geraldine. And what else happened while I was gone?
Well, Nicole is back, and she's very anxious to see you.
Oh, and I'm so anxious to see her, too. My goodness. I just don't know, I mean, she must be completely recovered, I'm sure. Well, of course. Otherwise, she wouldn't be back from Florida.
She is, and she looks absolutely marvelous. I'm hoping she'll get back to the station very soon.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to her. I can't wait to talk to everybody. You know, I think I'll take the better part of this month to catch up with all my friends.
Now, very soon, you'll have the opportunity of seeing almost all of Monticello assembled in one place.
Really? Why?
A little bit of social news. Raven is getting married.
Again? Who's the lucky man?
My nephew, Skylar Whitney.
Really? Well, double congratulations.
Skylar did everything he could to resist the idea. He wanted them to live together. But Raven wanted a ring on her finger, and she got it, much to my surprise.
Sky and Raven. Sounds intriguing, but nice. Raven Whitney.
I hope they're doing the right thing, Nancy. They're such strong personalities. Maybe I shouldn't predict, but I think they have a rough road ahead of them. Marriage demands patience, and neither one has a very abundant supply.
Thank you.
What's the matter?
You're so right, Geraldine. The past is going to follow me no matter what I say or do. The young lady sitting over there alone.
Who is it?
Valerie Bryson. Dr. Bryson's daughter.
You see, Nancy, you really can't avoid the past, can you?
It's just so soon after. I'm still sensitive about it.
That struck a nerve. I could see that. Nancy, confront it head on. It'll be worse later if you don't. Well, I must be going, dear. The mayor is stopping by the station for some reason known only to him. All right, thank you. It was lovely. We'll talk soon.
Yes. Hello. Hello. How are you? you mind if I,
Oh, no, please. Sit. Would you like something? Dessert?
No, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Are you, really?
Well, actually, Mrs. Carr, I've just come from the jail. And my father wouldn't even see me.
Well, I guess he just has to sort some things out. He, has had his whole world crumble around him. I'm sure he'll let you know when he's ready.
Well, I'm hoping so. He's all I have.
Well, are you going to be in Monticello long?
I've decided to stay as long as it takes for him to want my help and support.
You're a very lovely young lady, Miss Bryson. I admire your sensitivity.
Thank you.
Where are you going to live? What are you going to do?
Well, I'll have to get a job. The courts have frozen my father's accounts, and I've been completely cut off from any money.
What kind of work do you like to do?
While I was at the Sorbonne, I studied photography. I've done 2 apprenticeships, one in Paris and one in Rome.
So you would be interested in a career in photography?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Actually, I'm hoping to find something here. Maybe apprentice or assist someone in town.
Well, now, maybe I could help you because down the block is an employment agency, and I know the man who runs it. He owns it, actually, so maybe we could go down there and see what's listed.
That's very generous of you, Mrs. Carr. But I'm sure you have more important things.
No. I'm completely free.
You do know how sorry I am for all the pain my father caused you.
That is in the past. I think what's important is that you get a job.
I don't know how to thank you. I don't know anyone here, and there's no one in the world who cares about me.
It's not going to last for very long, I promise you. Now, please.
I'm sorry.
Get your things together and we'll go down there.
Oh, Mrs. Carr, why are you doing all this?
Because you didn't do anything wrong to me. And you're suffering terribly. That's not fair. Will you let me help you?
Thank you.
Some more?
No, thanks. I just don't want any right now. But maybe.
Oh, I'll drink your share. You know, I am so excited. Pretty soon we're not going to be just drinking imported wine. We'll be in the countries where it's actually made. Oh, honey, I'm so excited about this trip. Not just because we're traveling together and seeing new and different things. Because of the case. I've never been involved in anything so exciting. And if I crack this case, my God, do you realize what that'll do for my career?
Well, you will do it. I'm sure you will.
Oh, I don't know. Not if things go the way they did this morning. I had my first meeting with Bryson. I couldn't get him to tell me his social security number, much less anything about the case.
Well, he's despondent.
Yeah, I'll say. He started saying things like he was giving up on his life. He was finished.
Draper, it's understandable.
Yeah. You know, I'm beginning to agree with Mike. Mike thinks he's afraid to talk. He's worked on a lot of cases, some of international importance, and maybe he feels that if he says anything, they'll hurt his daughter.
Well, you don't think she's in danger, do you?
I don't know. She may wake up one morning and find she has some very high-powered enemies. That's why this trip is so important. I mean, if Bryson doesn't open up for me, then I've got to go all the way back to square one, Luzerne, and it's enough of this stuff. Let's talk about the good things about the trip. We'll be traveling together, seeing romantic places. I started making a list of the most romantic places in Europe.
You're kidding.
And I heard, no, this is very confidential, I heard that the Colosseum is very romantic at midnight. So how about, you and I go there and we fool around a little bit? How about it?
Draper, you know,
I had an appointment with Dr. Wallace this morning.
Well, you're okay, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I'm fine. I managed to escape from East Meadows without a scratch. But he feels it would be unwise to travel right now, that it might put the baby's health in jeopardy, and of course I agree with him. The problem is that I can't bear the thought of being separated again for a long period of time. We've just gotten back together. It seems like we could never stay that way. I love you. And I want to be with you. Always.
Look, it's okay. It's no problem. I'll just tell Mike to forget about it. Get somebody else.
You can't. You have got to take this job for your sake, for Mike's sake. Do you think I'd ever be able to forgive myself if I knew I was the reason why you couldn't go? I just don't want to lose you.
No. You'll never lose me. Look, we just have important things we both have to do. Unfortunately, we can't do them together. Look, all I want you to think about is having the healthiest, strongest baby in the world, all right?
I will. Promise.
And I promise, too.
What?
I promise I won't be away very long.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't see you come in. Just a minute.
Oh, are you all right?
Yeah. Man, you makes me feel better.
Thank you.
Can I help you?
Yes, the H.T. Lewis Employment Agency sent me over.
Who?
I'm here to inquire about the assistant's job.
Oh. Let me be my assistant. Unfortunately, I'm the wrong guy. I'm just here installing the equipment just for today.
Oh, well, is the owner around?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I'll just wait.
Sure, go ahead. Listen, anything, give me a shout.
Thank you.
You like my camera?
Yes. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have
That's
touched it. Force of habit. Actually, I am here to inquire about the assistant's job. My name's Valerie Bryson.
How do you do, Miss Bryson? I'm Carlo Crown.
The Carlo Crown?
The Carlo Crown.
You know, one of these days, Calvin, you and I are going to sit down at a mahogany table with real silverware and some cloth napkins.
Dream on, man. We're lucky we got time to scarf down these dogs.
Yeah, I forgot to pay for this thing.
Oh, it's okay. Well, don't worry. Seriously, my treat.
To what do I owe this unexpected surge of generosity?
Well, you haven't heard. The chief is not marrying Raven Swift. And as far as I'm concerned, that's cause for fireworks and brass bands.
I mean, the chief gave her the boot.
I'm not positive. It might be the other way around, but that's not important. As far as this detective is concerned, he's much better off out of it.
I mean, she gave him the axe. Well, I think that's great. I mean, considering you were so adamantly opposed to the wedding in the first place.
Tyler, are you interested in Raven Swift?
Well, I think the woman has some very interesting qualities. I mean, I don't know if I'd ever want to lead her down the aisle, but I just think a woman like Raven Swift should be available to the world.
I don't believe this.
Hey, she's a very intriguing woman.
She is double trouble, man. I told you, I've seen the guy she's carved up.
Well, that doesn't bother me. As a matter of fact, I find women like that rather exciting.
Oh, Romeo, huh? Well, Romeo, listen, I hate to put poison ivy on your trellis, but rumor has it that Raven Swift is still getting married.
You just told me that she and Derek...
Not to the chief. She is going to the chapel with Mr. Schuyler Whitney. How does that grab you?
Sky Whitney? I mean, Martine Duval's boyfriend. She can't do that.
She can and will, amigo.
Oh, she's making a big mistake.
Well, why don't you try telling her that?
Well, as a matter of fact, Calvin, I just might do that. How does that grab you?
Who's going to pay for these?
He said he did.
He said you were.
Oh, okay. Take credit cards?
No, but I'll take food stamps.
You're on.
This is it?
All the comforts at home.
My God, there's a lot of noise from the street.
What do you want for $12 a night?
Yes, it certainly is in the Waldorf.
Sweetie, $12 in advance?
Yes, of course.